to here, Box Poppin' Beauty. See it pop up live. Look at you already playing the sponsorship. Share to a group. Come hang out. Share. All right. Come hang out.
Oh, so they can hear us.
They can hear us. That's so funny.
But I wonder if they can only hear you because of your mic setup.
Come hang out. That's so funny. Yeah, I can't hear you. Just activate it. Let's go.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think they can hear me, but I think they can hear you because of your input mic. Welcome to today's show. I'm Marco Guerrero, and this is Dr. Pugs.
I'm actually not sure if they can hear you because I couldn't hear any of that intro at all.
Really?
Oh, Mike said he could hear us both on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody...
it's showing here that they can hear me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, hear both of us. Did anybody hear the intro though? Like, was there any sound during the intro? Did anybody hear that?
That might.
Amanda's at dinner. Amanda, what's for dinner? I don't know if anybody heard the intro or not, but we'll find out.
I doubt they heard the intro because I don't think I have the OBS going through the output, so I think it was just the visual. I didn't think about that because I think I have the Skype audio coming through, not the OBS audio.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But they did hear your new name,
Mr. Pug, Dr. Pugs.
Dr. Pugs.
At least I'm
respect the title.
At least I'm a doctor.
The doctor with a cool new shirt.
Yeah,
that you're covering up with a soda.
Here, I'll get rid of the soda. Look at my shirt. Vatos Locos.
Forever.
Ooh, forever.
I didn't know what size to get you, so
it's comfy. I like it.
Bigger the better.
Bigger the more comfy. Yeah, no volume on the intro. We'll figure that. We're just playing around over here. And look at this. Mr. UK himself over here, Adam. Adam, we haven't even talked about the variants yet, and you're already going and ordering two? We haven't even talked about it. For all you know, you just ordered a red herring.
Yep. They're actually... I don't know if that was a good investment, but at least you got two.
Hey, Paul. What's up, brother? Good to see you here.
You did hear the part about how it's from a zombie film that you probably have never heard of.
Yeah. Let's see.
Dr. Pugs is going to be a thing now, huh?
Dr. Pugs. Got to use the Z. Okay, I'll go with it. Now
we got to get you some Dr. Pepper.
Aren't you supposed to be at an interview or audition? I mean, what are you doing?
We did start a little bit late.
Maybe he got out of his audition already. What's up, Joe, the OG, Joe Cohen?
Not much, gentlemen.
Two gentlemen muse on the fandom realm. One fine gentleman. We haven't heard our intro for a long time.
I know we've been. We slowly got to work it back in.
I know. Nick, I hope it went well for you. I have so much positive vibes coming to you. We can tell everybody here we're going to try to get Nick on as potentially a guest next week so he can tell us all his spoilers for his.
Wait, how did you have like isn't it like midnight over there? Like
Where
2
is
in the
he?
morning?
Nick's.
Where is Nick?
Nick's not. Nick is in the U.S.
Is he?
Yeah.
Why did I think
Pretty
he was
sure.
somewhere else?
Pretty sure Nick's in the U.S.
Nick, where are you at?
Where you at, Nick? I don't know what. What are you calling one of us a co-ed and the other a stoner zombie? Who were you talking about?
Stoner zombie.
What are you talking about?
I'm obviously the co-ed. I've got the bigger breasts.
Is it because your hair? Is it because you use more conditioner than I do? So clearly you're the co-ed.
Yep. But then again, I have the longer beard. So
I mean, James, this is what you missed. This is it. We're talking about.
Yeah.
So Nick is in Wisconsin, and he's all free for next week.
Sweet then, yeah.
I hope your interview went fantastic. And then Adam says right now it's 2 a.m. in the UK.
Yeah, but it said the clue is cult classic. The first clue, it's if you go over to the site right now, the add-on is up. The add-on is a cult zombie movie from the 2000s that you may never have heard of. Odds are you've never heard of it.
So it's not a cult classic.
Right.
Maybe it's literally a zombie movie about a cult that's turned into a zombie.
Dun, 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 dun,
maybe Marco's
it's a
throwing
cult of zombies.
It's the cult of the zombies. And this is Marco's way of like sneaking it in, and I already just solved it. So there you go, everybody. Everybody right now, flock to Google. Don't close your browser though, but flock to Google and figure out the movie from the 2000s that had to do with a zombie cult. And it's somebody from that, an actor or actress from that.
And there's just not many clues I can give without giving it away. This person. So
what's up, Alan?
They were on a procedural show, a regular for a few seasons.
So are we talking about are we talking gender or are we hiding gender?
We can say it's a male.
It's a male? Okay. It's a man. Okay, if it was Warm Bodies, I don't think that Marco would say you probably haven't heard of it, because Warm Bodies was such a good movie.
So you saying this was a bad movie?
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying you wouldn't have put you haven't heard of it.
I will tell you, one of the co-stars in the movie, Michael, is one of your favorite actors.
Ooh. Now
you probably won't even guess the actor though. Let's just say you like this actor, or at least the show that this actor starred in.
Okay.
Or was in.
All right. Okay, so let's go over. We broke right into conversation about this, so we can just talk about the variants right now. So there is one variant.
People don't have patience.
Yeah. I mean, people are already ordering it, and there's only 30 of them available, and Adam ordered 2 apparently on accident. So the variant's up.
That's how excited he was to order this.
Yeah. You know what it was? It was like he probably saw there's only 30, and so he rushed to get it in, like the order in.
Yeah, my add-ons don't sell that fast. I don't even think I ever really sold out hardly of any.
You did sell out of 1.
Well, that was because there's like 5 or 10 of them.
Actually, no, you sold out of 2. You sold out of the Sterling. What's her name?
Mindy Sterling?
Mindy Sterling. You sold out of 2 of her variants. I think.
I don't think so.
You sold out of the Avatar.
The Conman one I have still a few on, but maybe I didn't put them all up for sale.
You were close to selling out of Conman if you didn't sell out of it.
Well, I know the artistic one of what's her name sold out because I only had like 10. I only did like 10 of those.
Hey, who made your the the plaques that you had made for the Alan Tudyk Conman ones? Where'd you have that done?
There's just this couple that goes to all the cons and sells autographs and photos.
You still got their info?
Yeah.
I was thinking about see. So I'm torn because
They're just
I want to.
expensive to ship because they're heavy.
Oh, see, my problem is I want to display. I want to display the Mindy next to the Alan Tudyk one,
Right.
but there's stuff on the back of the Mindy one, so I may display it in just like a glass frame, like so I can see the back if I want to, because I don't want to really hide what you put on the back, also,
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out how to display that the way I want.
Cool.
Okay, back to Variant. So 2000s zombie movie, a cult
And
movie,
by
not
cult,
cult.
I mean like there is a bit of a following between some fans, right? But it's not very big. It's not like cult like some people refer to the Rocky Horror Picture Film as a cult class. You know what I mean?
Cult. So it's a cult following, but not a cult classic. It hasn't reached cult classic status.
Like
It
I said,
just reached cult status. So there's cult status, and then there's suicide cult status, and then
there's like it could be like 50 people, and maybe like the people that have seen this could be in the hundreds.
There's a kick group that Marco's a part of that talks about this movie.
But the cool thing is, if you like zombies and stuff like that, maybe it'll give you an excuse to go and find it, and maybe it'll give you an excuse to then become part of that cult if you like it enough. It's an interesting concept for a zombie film, I will tell you that.
All right. Well, I mean, now you're going back into Warm Bodies, because Warm Bodies is probably one of the most interesting. Have you seen Warm Bodies?
I've seen the trailers for it. I don't know if I actually saw. I know that like the two zombies like become romantically involved.
Well, it's a zombie and a
romance
still
movie.
alive person, and the zombie falls in love with the alive person, which starts bringing the zombie back to life.
Right.
Because she's so hot that it gets his heart pumping to get blood flow to somewhere. The zombie comes back. So that's an interesting concept right there.
That it is. Alan has a good comment there.
Yeah. So Alan wants to know: are you strictly limiting it to 2000 to 2010, or are we limiting it all of 2000?
No, I'm going to go ahead. I'm giving you the decade.
Ooh, nice job, Alan. Way to go, Mr. Invested. We can call him Alan Holmes, brother of Sherlock.
Let's just say third cousin.
I haven't heard of this. Pontypool. Unique. I haven't heard of that one. So there's one that may.
Like who would be in that?
Well, look at Blind Mike is all about this co-ed and stoner zombie movie. Yeah. Is this rated like? Is there an X in this rating, Blind Mike? Because this sounds like an interesting. Is this like a family movie? I mean, I haven't seen Marco include any adult film stars yet in the Autograph of the Month Club. I'm not going to put it past him, but I haven't seen it yet. So,
and like I said, the other clue is that it was a male, and that they were on a procedural TV show that is no longer on the air, but was a series regular for a few years.
A series regular?
I believe a series regular. I think could be.
So that's the main autograph.
Yeah.
Procedural TV show, series regular. So we've got male, older or younger than you.
I'd have to look that one up. It's either younger or same age. Like
so close
actors,
in age.
It's like close in age.
Close in age. See, I would not consider these Cyrus. I would not consider those. Those are very popular. And if anybody wants a 28 Days Later autograph,
Eccleston.
Yeah, Marco has, wouldn't you know, has Christopher Eccleston from 28 Days Later on 258 West, and I believe they're on sale right now. Last time I looked at the site.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of reminiscing because they did the whole Tom Hiddleston thing on the Star Wars autograph page.
Yeah.
I was like, and there was like $2.75. I'm like, I remember when I released that for $75 back in 2000, I think 12.
I'm hoping that somebody's not listening to me because the door is open. So I'm gonna not talk that loudly, but a certain somebody's autograph came out for their first signing. So as everybody knows, I call Margot Robbie wifey, and if there was a equivalent of wifey to Kendall, it would be Idris Elba. And his autograph the price dropped to $250 starting price with Star Wars Autograph Universe.
And he was on my list, because I wanted to eventually do everybody from The Wire, but
yeah, $250 for Idris Elba. You know what that means is that Kendall and I have expensive taste. That's what that means. We have expensive taste. Margot and Idris are too expensive.
I think it's just everybody has the same taste as you, and that's why it's expensive.
Oh well,
it's like everybody wants those two.
Here we go. Nick is calling zombie strippers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look at Alan doing the research. There are 177 zombie movies between 2000 and 2010. At least 30 of those are like super well known. So we're down to about 140 options. That's my dude. There you go, Alan. Now, Alan. See, I love Alan because Alan thinks like I do. Like Alan's breaking it down. Like.
So yeah.
Yes, Cyrus,
Kyle,
those are great. And I'm telling you, right now, if you like 28 Days Later and you want a Christopher Eccleston autograph, 258 West has them on sale, I'm pretty sure right now. And fun fact, I forgot that Christopher Eccleston was in that movie until I saw the autograph on Marco's site.
So I just had an idea, right? What if we change the name of the show to Vatos Locos?
Vatos Locos.
Dos Vatos. We'll do Dos Vatos Locos
with Crazy Marco and Dr. Pugs.
The crazy one.
Crazy
and
Marco
Dr.
and
Pugs. That'll be like the alternate universe of the show. We'll do like an alternate reality episode one time.
Yeah.
And it'll be Dos Vatos Locos coming to you live.
See, you being Marco Guerrero are allowed to make those kind of jokes. For me, it'd be cultural appropriation. So I'll stay to Dr. Pugs.
I'll tell you something afterwards that just popped into my head. I thought was kind of funny.
Oh, here you go. So Alan's pulling out a clue that it's a unique premise. Yeah. Alan's breaking it down right now. Alan is breaking it down.
Speaking of zombie movies, what did you think of what's the new zombie movie on Netflix by Snyder? Is it The Dead Ones, or what's it called?
I haven't watched it.
The trailer where they have to pull a Ocean's 11 in a zombie-filled apocalypse.
I haven't seen that one. We did just watch for the first time. Kendall and I did watch Train to Busan.
I did finish, and I'm a little upset with you guys.
Uh-oh.
Army of the Dead. That's it, Paul.
Army of the Dead.
And Nick.
Yeah. That's got what's his name?
Batista.
Batista. Yeah.
There's a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of cameos.
What are you mad at me for now?
Well, I went and I watched Utopia on Prime.
Oh.
And obviously, there's probably not going to be a second season.
I didn't do that to you.
Oh, wasn't it you who told us to watch it?
No, I've never seen Utopia.
It's actually really, really good. Because we were talking about it because remember I was asking, was it that Hulu one? Or maybe it was Andrew.
Somebody brought up Utopia. Yeah, it was Andrew brought up Utopia because I brought up the show that Adam and I were talking about from the UK. The Tribe.
Yeah.
Wait.
No.
Tribe.
Just the premise. Okay. Let's talk about a movie, right? Or TV series. It's I think 9 episodes. It's got John Cusack in it and Daniel Bird.
Okay.
But basically, it was filmed. They did it in 2020, I think, is released. But they probably obviously filmed it in 2019.
Okay.
But it was based on a comic book, and what it is this couple moves into a dead grandparents' house they inherited, and they find a manuscript, a comic book manuscript, right? Graphic novel, and it's called Utopia, and it's a sequel to Dystopia. And there's kind of a cult following for the book, so they decide that, we're going to make a lot of money. It's going to be like the Lost Batman, whatever. And so it's got this really crazy artwork. And then there's like a group of these 4 people who are like, or 5 people that are like obsessed with it and think it foretold the last one, all of the major viruses that broke out in the world, from like SARS to Zika, everything, like all before they happened. Like it's all hidden in the artwork, and there's clues everywhere. So they want to get their hands on this so they can see what's going to be coming into the future, right? And so they get there. Long story short, people start dying over this thing. There's the whole conspiracy theory. There's this thing. See, I don't want to give away too much, but let's just say there's like vaccines and virus. Like it's just they picked the wrong year to release it.
Oh. But is it like so? I'm guessing it ends on a cliffhanger, and there's probably not going to be a season 2.
Right. Like it's like it's got a decent wrap up for the most part, but like you're really like, oh my god, like there could be what could have been type of thing.
Yeah.
And my guess is, the reason it wasn't promoted and it wasn't, is the fact that it deals with vaccines and viruses and
it could be
and conspiracy theories.
Wrong time.
Yeah, it's so good. It's funny because I typed in Utopia on Prime, and like 15 things popped up.
Adam has guesses of Steve Howie from Shameless and Stan Helsing, or Ben Cotton from Stan Helsing and Stargate Atlantis. So, I will say, one of the little hints that Marco gave was that there's somebody that I like who was in the show with them, and I know Cameron Monaghan is in Shameless. Oh, in the movie.
The zombie movie.
Okay, never mind. You're wrong, Adam. Because I was going to say Shameless has Cameron Monaghan in it, and I love Cameron Monaghan. And I've never watched Shameless. Isn't that how every utopian dream turns out? Look at Blind Mike dropping the deep comments.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow. All right, so to recap, 2000 to 2010, cult, not classic, cult.
And by cult, I mean that there could have been a following. There is a following, but it's not like well known, basically.
So now, are you declining the idea that it's about a cult of zombies? Because I like that. It could or could not be about a cult of zombies, but it's a cult zombie movie from 2000 to 2010. They were also in a
procedural
TV show. Why don't you explain procedural TV show for
Story of the Week?
There you go.
So procedural, like somebody used CSI earlier as an example, would be that of like it's open and shut in an episode. While there are arcing storylines, for the most part, every episode is open and closed. They find a body, blah blah blah.
So Prodigal Son's a procedural TV show. There's an arcing storyline, but every episode is a single episode.
Most shows start off very procedural, right? Like the Prodigal Son. Then after they've got the following going, then they start making the mythology in more and more, and it becomes less and less procedural.
Unless your show is Lost. Lost was never procedural.
Right.
Lost, you could not watch one episode, and you would have no idea anything going on. We just I was telling Marco before we went live, we just caught up on Prodigal Son. If you have not watched Prodigal Son, highly recommended.
I think I might be 2 or 3. I've been catching behind on Prodigal Son.
Well, yeah, because you have Paramount Plus, right?
Well, I do, but I watched it on Hulu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Prodigal Son. Have you gotten to episodes with Catherine Zeta-Jones yet?
No. It's I'm probably 2 or 3 behind.
Fantastic.
I've been catching up on Snowfall and been watching I was catching up Snowfall. I just watched Utopia, and catching the new season so far of it's the Sons of Anarchy spinoff.
Mayans.
I'm
impressed I knew that because I'd never watched Sons of Anarchy and I've never watched Mayans. Did you watch Mortal Kombat on HBO Max?
I've heard the first one was better.
So here's the thing. Here's my personal opinion. I loved it. Kendall loved it. Kendall's very weird. She loves Mortal Kombat.
Did you just say don't watch it?
No. Watch it.
Oh, okay. I thought you said don't watch it, but then you're like, we both liked it.
No, we both really liked it. The thing about it is for people going like, oh, the first Mortal Kombat movie. So the first Mortal Kombat movie, for people who like the Mortal Kombat movies, it's nostalgic, right? Like there's nostalgia behind it. I will say, as a video game movie, this Mortal Kombat is a video game movie. They do there's a lot of fan service with fatalities. There's one of my favorite things actually was that.
So it's not going to win an Oscar, is what you're saying?
No, it's not going to win an Oscar.
Okay.
It is going to have a sequel though. Apparently, it's already greenlit now for potentially 3 to 4 sequels.
Well, see, that's the thing about what people don't realize about action movies is they're cheap to make and they make a lot of money worldwide.
Well, that was the thing, that this movie being rated R, being what it was, to gross in COVID time, a box office gross in COVID time, $22.5 million, when people could watch it on HBO Max.
Right.
And it still made $22.5 million. That's big. That's a huge thing.
You know what's really, really funny? Somebody's take was on this, and people always knock like the Fast and the Furious movies.
And the Fast and Furious movies are so popular.
Yeah, and they're awesome. I love them. And people are always great. But people knock them all the time, right? Like they make fun of them. But then those are the same people that say, why do movies have to be so political? Why do movies have to be so? I want to just be taken out of reality and not have to have the real world follow me into my sports and into my movies, right?
Yeah.
But then they sit there and dog how unreal the Fast and Furious movies are, or Here's Transformers.
Kendall said it best. So we walked out of the movie, and I turned to Kendall and I go, "So, what did you think?" Because Kendall was more excited about this movie than I was. Like Kendall was so excited. Right. So I go, "What did you think?" And she looks at me and she goes, "The acting was pretty terrible. The story was kind of bad and rushed. There was a lot of fighting, a lot of violence, and a lot of gore. It was perfect. I loved it." And that's what, you just had a ton of fighting, right. Kind of weird story, and it was great. And
well, okay, so there's two options here. It's a fun movie. I have two options here. I could work on the crazy. I'll let the people watching vote.
Oh God,
I could work on going through and finish packing all of the crazy stuff, or I take the night off and watch Mortal Kombat.
I wish there was a way to create a poll in Melon. Let them vote on a poll. Should we allow Marco to have the night off? That's
don't watch the British Utopia, William Lewis says.
Don't watch the British Utopia?
I'm watching Face, nice.
Oh, here it
Keep packing.
Joe, keep packing. Oh,
okay, Joe. I'm going to remember that when I'm packing yours.
Ooh. Oh, boy. No, it was that was the thing. Like Mortal Kombat, it was great. It was It was just a good, fun action movie. Blind Mike Packet.
You know what's crazy too? Sorry to jump in here, but like I sent one of the things that one of the reasons why it's taking a little bit longer to get out is I sent everybody a survey because I kind of wanted to get an idea of what everybody kind of likes, since I want to move a bunch of stuff and don't like. But then I get people that like the whole survey is they like one thing. Like every single option I gave them, they're like, no, 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 yes, no, 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 no. I only collect this one thing, and this one thing only.
I only collect Marvel A-listers. Now, good luck with my $40 box.
Right? It's like so you do know it's a mystery box.
Yeah.
And so, that was only the fun part.
See, Andrew, he tried to blame me. It wasn't me. It was you. It's Andrew's fault.
Utopia, the U.S. version. See, I don't even know like what you guys are talking about, like the U.S. version and British version. Like, because like I said, when I typed in Utopia into Prime, like 10 different things popped up.
I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, here you go. Look
at. I may not have been talking about you, Kyle.
It's weird because there wasn't anything about like Pauly Shore. Where's Scotty?
Scotty didn't fill it out.
Ooh.
So maybe he missed his chance. Maybe he
learned the lesson. Maybe he learned if I don't ask Marco for anything, I might finally get Pauly Shore if I don't say anything.
Or maybe he got tired of the Pauly Shore jokes.
Oh, what? What are you talking about? We're not talking about The Office.
The only Office I care about was Office Space.
Oh, Kendall hated that movie.
Is it because it was like too close to home, or?
No, it just hurt my heart. She loves like. Have you ever seen Master of Disguise?
Don't know.
That terrible Dana Carvey.
Okay, I know of it. Maybe I haven't seen it. I don't think.
Anyway, she loves Master of Disguise. She loves Due Date with Zach Galifianakis and
yeah, that wasn't a bad one. That was.
It's not bad, but then I show her like my like movies like Office Space, and she just doesn't laugh. And I'm like, this is hilarious. But
but she ever worked like an office job or?
I don't know. She just doesn't like the movies, the comedy movies where they make you like feel like anxious, and that's why you laugh.
Right. What about Idiocracy?
I don't think she liked that one either.
So she's not a Mike Judge fan.
Hey, Marty, look it.
Vatos Locos Forever.
Vatos Locos Forever. But I haven't watched it yet.
See, you're just a poser. You wear the shirt but never seen the movie.
I mean, you sent me the shirt. Everybody gets a Pauly but him.
That would be awesome.
Everybody's box has Pauly Shore in it except Scotty.
We were going to do an unboxing today, but we didn't have time, Michael. We had this idea that we were going to do an unboxing of the Crazy Box, and it was just going to be a picture of me signed.
Yeah, we were going to mess with you guys. It's just going to be, okay, everybody got Marco's box. Oh, yeah, Kendall hates stuff like Dumb and Dumber. Just not her style at all.
But see, Dumb and Dumber fits that Master of Disguise thing, right?
That's what confuses me.
Yeah.
She calls it like toilet humor, but Master of Disguise, the bad guy farts every like time he laughs. Like,
right.
It's not.
Yeah, what about the Three Amigos?
I don't know if she's seen that one.
We need to bring Kendall in here and be like, does Kendall like this movie? Yes or no?
Don't worry, Andrew. You got Marco's autograph coming in the $2,500 box that you're buying.
But see, that's the trick, right? The reason it's $500 is because there's only going to be 7 people that have it. There's only 7 of them in the world.
I know she has to watch the Goonies. I know she does.
How
Here you go.
you guys?
Only
What about
because I
Tropic
know I'll be
Thunder?
getting Tropic Thunder's so good. Good. Here you go. Okay, what's your Mark wants to know favorite dark comedy?
Favorite dark comedy? Orgasmo?
Is that a dark comedy
I don't
or
know if
just
that's a dark
I
comedy.
don't think there's anything dark about that.
I just like the subject. I actually took a friend of mine who was Mormon to see it, and she didn't think it was funny.
You thought that would end well?
Well, I mean, she was like Mormon, but not like a strict Mormon.
Did you buy her a soda too for the movie?
I think she drinks. Like I said, she was just like I don't know, but
Favorite dark comedy. That's a good one.
like what would be
Favorite dark
considered a
comedy.
dark comedy?
Let's see if I put in. Let's see what happens here. Let's go to dark comedy.
My faux fur. Um,
Let's see what comes up. Hang
I
on a
mean,
second.
Idiocracy is pretty dark.
Yeah, that kind of has some dark.
Cable Guy.
See, this is weird. Like these consider like this thing considers Fight Club a dark comedy. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean,
Shameless would be a dark comedy, but that'd
we've
be a
talked
TV
about it
show.
on the show before how much I really enjoyed the comedy horror movies like Happy Death Day
Well, like
and
what are
Freaky.
like to that? Yeah, it goes back to like the idea of like what is horror. Like you've got like Child's Play, right? Then you have like, but then like the second ones become like comedy, right? Like the first ones are scary, like the Friday the 13th, Jason, right? But then the rest of them become this whole like joke.
Well, I mean, if you really want to go into it, like look at Gremlins and Gremlins 2. Gremlins was legit supposed to be a scary movie, and then
Right.
Gremlins 2 just made fun of it.
Right. What about
Like
like The
that's the
Purge?
see the Purge. I don't think any of those got comedy really. Like the
But I mean,
Purge
are they
really kind of
horror?
stuck to it. The Purge is horror. 100% the Purge is horror.
Okay.
I would 100% say the Purge is horror.
What
I
about
mean,
like the later ones?
even those like there's a whole mythology to those. Like you go into with the founding fathers
Right.
and then the different groups that are trying to fight back the Purge. I mean, if you really want to get into the idea of it, the Purge is really very political horror movie. If you really
Right.
want to get into it, The Purge is an extremely political horror movie. A horror movie series.
Dr.
Kind of
Giggles. That
fits
was horror,
today.
but comedy.
The best. I mean, right now, anybody who hasn't watched it yet, you're missing out. Go watch The Babysitter and The Babysitter 2 on Netflix. Those are some of the best comedy horror movies. They're freaking incredible.
Well, I guess
I've
like
watched
Jennifer's Body would be a dark horror, right? Or like,
Jennifer's Body would be a dark horror, a
or
dark
not dark
comedy,
horror,
a
but dark
horror
comedy.
comedy. Yeah, I would say Jennifer's
So
Body is a good.
maybe it's like the horror slash
Yeah, there is. Karen's right. There is a new horror or a new Purge coming out this year.
well, there was the Purge TV show I heard was pretty good.
I have that recorded. I never watch it.
It's on I think Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah, here. See, John's got it. Purge is a slasher flick with socio-political movie,
Yeah, but
hands down.
is that still core, right?
Oh, it's 100% horror.
Okay.
The idea what makes the Purge scary, in all honesty, is if you really take it down to brass tacks, you could see something like that, like somebody trying to like institute something like that someday.
Right.
And that's what
Well,
makes the Purge scary.
yeah.
That's what makes that's why I always say The Strangers is one of the scariest movies of all time, because The Strangers is
All right.
just people.
I have one of my favorite, I guess, dark comedies. It was
Okay.
with Mark Wahlberg, Lou Diamond Phillips, Mark Wahlberg, the Hispanic model guy. What's his name? And but it had Christina Applegate. Um, it was called. I can't think of it. It's like Hitman or something, but it was. Um, I have to look it up now. Mark
What's up, Dave?
Wahlberg.
Karen, 100% agree. I think that that's another great topic is sirens in horror. I mean, you go back to who did it best, Silent Hill. Like Silent Hill siren is still one of the creepiest things ever.
I was
100%.
actually I started watching somebody play the first Silent Hill game on stream it because that to me was one of my favorite games of all time. The very first Silent Hill.
Terrifying.
Yeah. The jump scares in that were insane.
Yeah, John, I agree. See, you can make as many movies as you want about the devil or some ghost possessing people, that bullshit. But the scariest thing, and that's one of the reasons The Walking Dead, I'm way behind on The Walking, like seasons behind on The Walking Dead. But one of the things that makes The Walking Dead so good, one of the things that makes The Purge so good, one of the things that makes The Stranger so good is because the scariest thing out there is people. People are the scariest thing out there. And that's what makes those movies and those shows so good. Dusk Till Dawn, yeah, that's a great point, Mike. Yeah, Dusk Till Dawn is a horror comedy, 100% a horror comedy.
How many people have seen The Big Hit with Mark Wahlberg, Lou Evans, Christina Applegate?
Yeah, a bunch of people were typing in the chat, big hit, big hit.
Yeah. Antonio Sabato Jr., Bokeem Woodbine, Avery Brooks, Elliot Gould. That to me was always one of my favorites. It was one of those things like when it's on the tip of your tongue and you just forget the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was always a fun movie.
We were talking because I've been telling Kendall's dad. I've been trying to tell him to watch Prodigal Son, and he doesn't like gore, horror, that kind of thing. And I'm like, it's not gore and horror. And he's like, well, but if you go to IMDb, it says it's one of the scariest shows on TV. And I'm like, it's not though. But that just shows how subjective it is, right?
You want to know one of the stories that I always tell? It goes right into this. It was probably like 1999, right?
Okay.
So Buffy probably would have been in its like third year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching X-Files on like DVD and on TV and stuff. And the commercials for Buffy the Vampire Slayer would come on, be like the most realistic teen show on TV. And we'd all start laughing like, it's about a chick in high school who fights a vampire. But then it wasn't until I like watched it that I understood how like the monster of the week was a metaphor for like whatever she was going through in her teenage life at the time.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because it was like it was so serious. Like the most realistic teen show on TV, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, The Big Hit was awesome. Yeah, it was.
And
I would consider that as dark comedy.
Nicholas, 100% Inglourious Bastards is a dark comedy. 100% Inglourious Bastards is a dark comedy.
Pretty much all of Quentin Tarantino movies are dark comedy. Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, they're all dark comedies. Reality horror is the scariest type of horror. What KUWTK? What does that stand for?
No, you don't want to know.
I don't know what that stands for. What does that stand for?
But no, I get what I'm saying. Is like stuff that are like like mental, like Silence of the Lambs, like the new those type because you can be a reality, right? You know what I mean? Like there's nothing scarier than stuff you can't predict.
Yeah,
that could be real, right? It's like why mass shootings is, even though like they're on the news all the time, right? The odds of actually being in one are crazy slim.
I would have never figured that out, Dave. Like in 1,000 years, I would have never figured out that you're saying keeping up with the Kardashians.
We're like, You're
I'm
just
like
a bunch
really
of
trying to
old
figure out what like
fogies.
scary TV show you're talking about. It
Yes, that show is scary.
is terrifying. It really is. No, but you're 100% right. That's one of the things without spoiling it. So I know you finished season 1 of Prodigal Son. That kind of twist at the end with what happens with, him and his sister and everything.
Yeah.
Kendall and I did not see that coming at all.
I think I have to go back and rewatch the last episode of that first season because I remember something happened, but then I watched season 2, and for some reason I don't remember that scene in season 1.
Yeah, watch it again because that you just didn't see it coming. Like
Right.
I don't know, anybody who without spoiling it in the comments, if you watch Prodigal Son, if you saw what happened with him and his sister coming, let me know because
Plus,
I didn't see that scene. I didn't see that happening at all. Like that surprised both Kendall and I were like, "Holy shit!"
Plus, you have Sheen playing basically a Silence of the Lambs type character, right?
He's just so great. He's just so good.
I like when he's trying to escape. Or the time, like when he lies to him straight to his face, and he gets caught. He's like, "Yeah, I tried."
What about when he? What about when he electrocutes his roommate
Right,
and
it
fixes
cures him. But that's the crazy part of that is that they make him so funny.
Yeah, he's like, "What happened here? A miracle."
Well, that's the thing is he's like this serial killer who's just funny.
Yeah, he's just he's one of those bad guys that's like you root for the bad guy.
Right.
You root.
Well, I mean, you don't root for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not rooting for him, but yeah, it's like Dexter. It's the whole anti-hero thing, right?
You see the little teaser for Dexter?
I try to avoid stuff as much as possible. Like I'm refusing to watch like the Loki trailer as much as possible.
Oh, there was there's literally nothing. The essence of a teaser. Like you see nothing.
Got it.
It literally is just him talking
so
about
many
getting
trailers
back to
give away so much, and then I mean, even what I saw the first Loki trailer gave away so much.
Yeah.
And I don't want there to be even more to give away. Like one of my best experiences of my life when it comes to like movies was I was in high school. I was probably 14 or 15. Or no, I was probably 13, 14. No, 14. I was a freshman, so
Okay.
And I was skipping school with this senior girl, and we went to the mall up in Portland, Lancaster Mall.
Yeah.
And we decided, like, we got kicked out of Toys R Us, and so we were like, "Oh, let's go see a movie." And we didn't know what any of the movies we're playing were, so we're like, "The Usual Suspects. Let's just go see that one." And Usual Suspects has been one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think part of the reason is because I went into it not expecting anything, not knowing anything. I mean, literally never seeing a trailer for it, and just watching it and being like, "Wow, that was awesome."
Yeah. I used to do that. I used to have a thing where if I had like some time just to myself, like either after school or something like that, or after work, if I just had some free time, I would go to the movie theater, but I wouldn't go see a movie like I plan on seeing. What I would do is I'd go to Rotten Tomatoes and I'd pick out the movie that had the highest critic rating at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever had the highest critic rating, I would go see that movie. And that's how I seen some of my favorite movies I've ever seen. That's how I found American Animals, which is my favorite movie of all time, American Animals. That's how, if anybody in here has seen Midnight in Paris, Midnight in Paris is a fantastic movie.
See, I'd be the opposite. I'd be like, "What's the lowest rated movie on?" Because like all of my favorite movies end up being like the lowest rated ones. You know
I've
what I mean?
done that too. I have done that.
I used to get pissed because I used to be a big Adam Sandler fan, and like all of his movies would get horrible ratings and horrible reviews, every single one. Like how Happy Gilmore was awesome, you know?
Yeah, they have terrible ratings. Yeah, I agree, Mike. The original Exorcist is absolutely terrifying. The original Exorcist is terrifying. I also think the original Night of the Living Dead is absolutely terrifying, and it has nothing to do. It just felt like they did a really good job with the makeup, because they didn't have like CGI or anything obviously back then. So they did a great job with the makeup, and it was just like that. They had that constant, the zombies are coming and there's nothing you can do about it type thing. And that was terrifying.
My original like horror movie that I loved, right? Like pretty much the only horror movie, because I'm not really big into horror movies. But like the biggest one, my favorite one of all time though is crap. I just had it in my head. I was about to say it and then it just disappeared.
Went right out. You think with all that hair it would keep your thoughts in.
There you go. Candyman.
Candyman.
The original Candyman. I saw it. I was again. Me and my friend went to a movie, and he was into horror, right? And there was a theater in Walleton, right?
Mm-hmm.
That played double features for like $5, and so they had Candyman and Dr. Giggles, back to back for $5, and we're like, hell yeah! So we went and saw that, and like I was like, to me, the very first horror movie I saw was The Thing.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah,
but I was like 6 or 7.
It doesn't matter how old you are. The skin is the Thing is terrifying. The Thing. So Kendall and I used to always go to Universal Halloween Horror Nights, to the mazes, the mazes and stuff like that. And I'll always remember The Thing is the one maze that actually made me jump. Like it scared the crap out of me. In it, like they did such a good job of like distracting you one way and then something came out at you from the other side. It did such a good job.
Put Karen's comment up, because this is.
Hang on, I want to ask Dave really quick, because I have Dave's comment up. So Dave, I do have Clarice. I do have that movie or that show recorded.
Yes. Right,
sorry,
bye. My dad was taken off to California.
Bye, Dad. Anyway, Dave, I do have Clarice recorded. Kendall and I are going to watch it. But the reason we haven't watched it is because it's been so long since we've watched Silence of the Lambs. And so I ask you, who have watched Clarice,
you don't need to watch the original.
Has nothing to do with the movie?
It has everything to do with it. But in a sense, it's actually better probably not to go back and watch it. Because, like, you know how, like, when you're afraid of something, you try to keep it out of your mind, in a sense?
Okay.
And so, basically, the show is her having PTSD from her experience with Wild Bill.
But wouldn't it be good to actually watch that movie?
Because the way it plays out is through a bunch of flashbacks in every episode of her. Because, again, with Wild Bill, but like refilmed, right? Like, like you just see a naked Bill at a table sewing together stuff, and then like there's the girl that she saves is like completely just, she will not leave her house, right? And like she's completely isolated, and she keeps trying to call Clarice, but Clarice doesn't want to talk to her, because she's trying to also get that out of her head. And she's also a young woman trying to make it in the FBI, and everybody hates her because of, like, you know what I mean? So and then every episode they show you a little bit more from the movie, like her PTSD. So in a sense, you don't want to like know that, because it makes those scenes less dramatic, I guess.
Okay. So if you watch the movie and have everything,
so like I saw it, but I saw it 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, you're not on for the ride.
Right, like and then like as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, okay. It just seems like if I went back and I watched it, then I'd watch this. Those scenes wouldn't be as scary or like freaky.
Okay, is this the comment you wanted from Karen?
Yeah. So the reason why, like, looking through the movies being sequels or franchises or reboots, is because it takes a lot of money to advertise and promote something new. Right? So where if you're coming off a sequel, it already has a built-in fan base. It already has a built-in property, like, for people to, you know what I mean? That's why even most new stuff that you do watch have almost no media, right, behind them, because it takes a whole lot amount of money to create something new. And that's why you see most new stuff fail or not box office hits.
It's one of the reasons that there's so little original entities out there, because even like you look at Mortal Kombat is guaranteed to make a certain amount of money, because it's Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Now you come out with an original Kung Fu movie,
It's just another kung fu movie, right?
It's just another movie, and nobody's gonna. You kind of start out with like in golf or in bowling, you have a handicap. You kind of start out with a handicap when you do a sequel or a property. You start out with kind of like Money in the Bank. Like you're gonna get this fan base. Here's a great question from Andrew. What's your guilty pleasure movie?
Well, we didn't even get to finish our conversation about that topic.
Oh, go on.
Wow. But anyways,
I thought you said your part.
Well, I was going to follow up.
Okay, here. Boom. Look at that.
But so yeah, I mean, like I said, go back to look at just anything new that that just doesn't hit it out of the park, right? Like I had somebody tell me the other day that they watched Guardians of the Galaxy, and they didn't think, and they only watched it, they didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, even though it was part of a Marvel and it's part of the collection. They just didn't know much about it. You know what I mean?
That's what we talked. We talked about that.
Was it? It's
just I talked about that because of the Shang-Chi. I think Marvel takes a risk because I mean, let's look at it. Marvel can make Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. They can make those movies as many times as they want. Spider-Man. Right. Those movies are going to make bank. But then they come out of nowhere with something like the Eternals, Guardians of the Galaxy, Shang-Chi,
Dark Avengers.
They had these are Young Avengers. They have these. Now you're talking about a littler handicap. You know what I'm saying? Like a littler guarantee, which then turns into amazing. Like Guardians of the Galaxy had to be an amazing movie, and it was an amazing movie.
Right.
But now nobody goes into Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or the future Guardians of the Galaxy 3 going, man, this movie is going to be interesting.
Everybody has a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
And you have to, like, are you going to put your money and your time into something that you know nothing about? Right? Or something like, at least you have an idea of what it's going to be about. Like, I go into certain movies, sequels, or reboots knowing a little bit about what it's going to be about, right? Some expectations. Where some movies, like, that could be good, it could be bad. The story, you know what I mean? Like, and that's why so many are reboots and so many are sequels.
See, but then you look at something like, that's when you take, so like Karen's comment here, writers thinking of new original subject. I think we kind of touched on it. Like, it's not that they don't think of it. It's just like if a studio is going to give $100 million to this project or $100 million to a brand new project
to advertise,
yeah,
not even make, but you're going to have to spend that to advertise.
Yeah, so it's just it's simple. But then what really you think about, what I really enjoy is, so think about what we just talked about with Thor, right?
Right.
The best Thor movie was the third one. Thor Ragnarok was the best Thor movie.
And probably best Marvel movie in a sense.
Best Marvel movie. In my opinion, Thor Ragnarok is the best Marvel movie that they've made. Better than all the Avengers movies. Thor Ragnarok is the best movie that they've made in Marvel. But you look at that, and that is the writer, that's Takai, that's, they built a perfect movie.
Right.
And so you go into that then, where now they think back, like Thor the Dark World, nobody talks about that. Right. Nobody talks about Thor the Dark World.
Speaking of Christopher Eccleston.
Nobody talks.
Well, see, this is my point though, Karen. Let me wrap this up with this one. But Karen, those movies are out there, right? Like if you go to any of your streaming services, go to anything, there are hundreds and if not thousands of new movies out there. You just don't know about them because they don't spend $100 million to advertise them to you. Right? But they're there. Like you can go to an indie theater and watch an indie film. You can go to one of Netflix or one of these shows and find a whole bunch of movies that you don't know about because, again, they're not advertising them. Right? Like they don't have that $100 million advertising budget.
I mean, look at who watched the Oscars. How many films won at the Oscars that you've watched? Like, look at it. Like
I heard some shade about that today. Is like how they used Chadwick Boseman in every promo. They made the actor, the best actor, the last category. They gave everybody in the audience Chad Boseman, NFTs because he was up for best actor. Kept just promoting the hell out of him, right? And then Anthony Hopkins gets it. I mean, it doesn't get me wrong. Anthony Hopkins deserves it too. Yeah. It's just they basically shamelessly promoted Chadwick Boseman through this entire event.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was leading up to him. Then it goes to the old white guy.
Okay, so what's your guilty pleasure movie?
Idiocracy.
Is
or Orgasmo again.
Maybe back to those. My guilty pleasure movie, a movie that I could watch over and over, nonstop. Dude, Where's My Car?
Where is it?
I don't know.
All right, well, let me ask everybody: who here has not seen Orgasmo or have seen it? Tell us if you've seen Orgasmo or have not seen Orgasmo. Dun, 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 dun.
I gotta catch up with it.
My teacher.
Here, this is a good. See, and Dave. So my point being is that they have to do better with the lesser known ones, right? Because it has to draw in. It has to. It doesn't have. It can't. What's the term, like relax on your laurels or whatever it's called?
Right.
So that's that's what happened. Thor 1 was fine, but that's what happened with Thor 2. Thor: The Dark World was just a money movie. And then they realized, oh shit, we have to give this attention too. And then they came out with Thor Ragnarok. And now, look at Thor: Love and Thunder is probably the most anticipated, other than Spider-Man No Way Home. Thor: Love and Thunder is probably the most anticipated movie coming out for Marvel in the near future.
And it's funny because, you have the Dark World, which was so dark and bland. And then you have the Ragnarok, which is all colorful, bright, and cheery. You know what I mean? Like, it's completely contrast.
Even though Ragnarok means, something terrible. But here, Desiree says never seen it.
I like John's reply.
I was Mormon when it first came out. It was.
So it's from the guys from South Park, right? Matt Stone and Trey Parker. They did this show about these where he was a Mormon going out to LA to convert people, and he ends up on the set of a porn, and he's like a kung fu master, and they're trying to find like a porn star who's all wholesome and the part, and they end up turning him into a porn star, but he doesn't actually ever have sex because they have this done. And showed a boy, like, it's just hilarious.
This is probably my favorite comment I've ever had on here. Blind Mike, and I know Blind Mike probably voiced this and it didn't come out right, but it's the most accurate thing Blind Mike's ever said. He has not been entertaining for years.
I have not been entertaining for years. Yeah, Mike,
Blind Mike could have told you you're not entertaining. I did not watch the Oscars. I have not been entertaining for years. You have not been.
Right.
Nope.
And George is right too. Even a stinker will make,
But that's the point. That's what happened. They just dropped Thor, the Thor sequel. I mean, you look at it, and I
didn't think it was bad.
It wasn't bad.
It's just
not memorable. It wasn't like this great movie.
Yeah. And I feel like they just, again, when sometimes maybe they just rushed it and they didn't have the right director, writer,
I would say that there is actually a period of time there with the Thor 2, Iron Man 2 and 3.
Yeah.
They kind of just, they're not memorable.
Yeah.
Even Avengers 2, with all the best thing about Avengers 2 was Ultron, just because of who voiced him.
James Spader's awesome.
Yeah, James
Boston
Spader's
Legal, The Blacklist.
I didn't realize until the other night that The Blacklist is still on. That's crazy.
Like, it's hard with COVID. Like, there's so much that just like, it's like, okay, is this show still on? Is that show still on? Is this one airing? And then there's also channels like the CW and Sci-Fi channel that aren't on any of the streaming services. Like on Hulu, airs mostly everything for like at least a month. We'll have all the newest episodes for a month after they air, right? and and so it's hard to keep up on some of those shows because there's just so much else out there. And it was like then I saw something that was so stupid. Like somebody was like, Netflix only added like 7 million new people this quarter.
Only.
Like it was a disaster. They were expecting, they did 19 million the year before. I'm like, yeah, eventually get to a point where just everybody has Netflix.
Yeah, there's no more people.
Like they
like
only
expand universal internet to third world countries and you'll get more Netflix subscribers. Like Jesus, people.
It's like, well, that's what I always said about the corporate structure, right? Like you can every time you do something, right, you always need to do better the next year. You can't like maintain. You can't do like you have to keep squeezing blood out of an orange every single year.
We need to load sound effects onto your Stream Deck so that we can have a wah wah sound for comments like this.
One. I just never taken the time to like set it up.
I know you have it, but I only listen to the Oscars anymore to see who died last year.
Oh shit! I just did something.
Don't hit buttons.
I hit this button and it opened up like the Stream Deck website.
Don't hit buttons. Oh my god.
But yeah.
Here's a good one. I just saw one called The Special about a box that gives men orgasms. Well, there's that.
Are we back to the X-rated movie things again?
Karen and Mike need to talk about this.
Wasn't that Chota Boy's Chota Boy special? He had that arm cannon that would give you an orgasm. That's how he fought crime.
There you go. Well, let's see. I'm excited. Out of those movies, Mark, I'm probably most excited about the Batman, to be honest. The trailer that I saw the trailer they released looks awesome.
I don't know. See, I'm excited about all of them for different reasons.
I actually think, what's your opinion? I think Robert Pattinson is a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
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 Anyway,
it takes a great actor to be a shitty actor.
It takes a great actor to be a sparkly vampire.
Well, I think those two got a raw deal because of the material. It's like the same thing with what's her name and what's his name from Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh.
How they got like completely shafted. Like when they're not bad actors, they just had bad dialogue and director.
Yeah. And just an arc.
Natalie Portman and
the little kid.
No, not the little kid. I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about
Hayden Christensen?
Yeah.
I mean, just the little kid had it rougher than. I mean, people in the Star Wars universe hate that little kid.
Yeah,
like they loathe him.
The Jar Jar Binks actor almost committed suicide like 5 times.
Have you ever seen the Darth Jar Jar theory?
No.
Look up Darth Jar Jar theory because my secret guilty pleasure is those fan theories about movies. Like have you ever seen like the Pixar theory where every single Pixar movie is actually in the same universe and the characters actually do overlap?
No.
Dude, I love those theories. Anybody out there like those? Like, so the Pixar theory is probably the biggest one, but there is a Darth Jar Jar series out there, and the Darth Jar Jar series or theory is that George Lucas actually intended for Jar Jar to be Darth Plagueis, like the main bad guy, and he was just kind of in high. And they show little snippets from Episode 1 and Episode 2. Where you can kind of see like he could have been a bad guy. You kind of see where there's like scenes where stuff happens in the background. Like there's a scene where he's actually whispering to Palpatine in one scene. And so it kind of gives it like, oh, was he actually doing this? And then there was just so much hate for Jar Jar that he kind of scrapped it. But there was like this whole theory out there that Jar Jar was actually going to be like this really evil Sith Lord.
Dave has a good point. Blame it on the villain. To me, that's always been the difference between Marvel and DC is the villains. The villains, like if you go back and watch even the new Snyder Cut, right? It's just who cares about the villains? And I just watched a hilarious video where somebody just tears it apart. Like these two chicks are arguing about like dark side and not dark side and whatever. Like, how did he lose the all life thing? Or what's it called?
I don't know. I hear that, and I think the all spark.
No, yeah, but what is the thing that that Stephen finds?
The life boxes or the death code or whatever.
The life box or something. I don't
know.
But like the point is like so. Darkseid had only been defeated once by Zeus on Earth, and it was because they had the life box. Yet he forgot that it was on Earth, and he forgot about the one planet that ever defeated him. And like all of these things that like make totally no sense whatsoever. The mother box.
Yeah.
Or no, it wasn't the mother box. There was another thing like
there was a death
burned
code.
Into the planet.
The death code.
Like there was something in the DNA of the planet that
life code or death code or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and like he forgot, about the one planet that defeated him over the last 30 million years or whatever. Like it was just all ridiculous. Like when you just say it out loud,
There you go. Anti-life equation. That's what it was called.
Right. Yeah, the anti-life equation. Like, yeah, I left it on that planet, the one that defeated me with that one guy.
I mean, the thing is, we talked about it before, is that the reason that Batman is probably the most pop culturally used comic book person is his rogue gallery.
His rogue gallery, yeah, because Batman's kind of boring himself.
Best villains. Yeah. Nobody has the villains that Batman has. They're just so good.
I love the clip. I saw it online the other day about where the Joker finds out who Batman is, and he's really pissed at the henchman because he revealed his identity.
Yeah.
It's like, if I wanted to know who he was, I would have taken the mask off myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm bored fighting some billionaire with daddy issues.
All right, guys. So we'll just we'll recap, but we'll have the guessing post will be up in the bunker tomorrow morning. So I'll put the guessing post up in the bunker. But go to autographofthemonthclub.com and or autographofthemonth.com and get the /shop. You can add on the variant. It is from a zombie movie you probably don't know.
I would say 99% chance you don't know of this movie.
Zombie movie you probably don't know. And the clues to recap: male actor, about the same age as Marco, maybe younger.
Yeah.
The main autograph is a procedural
I would say younger.
Show.
I just can't verify it without looking it up.
Procedural show that he was on for
a few seasons.
A couple seasons.
So it went longer than like 4 seasons.
Ooh. And was he on it for the whole time?
No. He was only on it for part of it.
So those are your clues. And apparently the zombie movie, has somebody I like in it.
Yes.
So
somebody that you know very well.
Like personally?
No. You don't know any actors personally.
How do you know that?
Because you would have told me a long time ago.
That's true.
You've been like, hey, I know so-and-so, let's sign them.
Yeah. I've been telling you that we just need to find Jim Belushi's pot farm out here. He's somewhere near, like,
over the
he's
rainbow.
In like a couple mile radius of my house with his pot grow.
Hey, man, I'm looking for some initiative, if you know.
It's called Belushi Farms. You can look it up.
I'm just saying it's some initiative would be helpful.
Some initiative.
Show some initiative. Also, a side note, we are pushing back the QR code thing to the next month.
Okay, QR code. So QR code will be in June.
Yep, that's when we launched the QR code. I mean, I could probably put them on these, but the QR codes wouldn't activate. Like the codes would work, but you still have to put it in. The QR code wouldn't work until another month.
All right. All right, everybody. And then Marco's working on finishing up the surveys and getting everybody's crazy
Andrew's
boxes
in
out.
chat now. So Andrew, I did watch Utopia. It was amazing.
That's
I'm
what I
just
said. Don't
pissed
you
at you.
remember? Andrew revealed himself that he was the one who told you, not me.
Oh, I didn't think he was watching. I thought he was live streaming a video game or something at this time.
He might have been. He probably was live streaming, and then he came over to say hi to us.
Got it.
Because he misses us. He was talking in that post about how much he learned about NFTs thanks to you.
Nice. They gave everybody in the Oscars one that went to the Oscars.
Oh, Karen's saying go watch Mortal Kombat.
All right. So everybody, when you start sending me emails about where your box is, you can all blame Karen.
Karen's fault.
But all right, guys.
All right, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. And if you want to see another live stream, I think Marco's got one Friday. I might try to pop in, but Marco's got one Friday for NFTs.
Yeah, I do NFT update show for crypto NFTs. So yeah,
go check it out. I'm gonna try to start being part of it. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.